as we decided that once again we will go through all the literary devices, whatever you have read and whatever I have explained it to you, like a simile, metaphor, although they are very simple, but still we need to work on its examples because sometimes it is very confusing. Even if you know the rules, even if you know the definition, but sometimes you are not able to identify that which literary device or figure of speech has been used in this particular line. Okay. Now, enjambment is one new literary device that I'm going to explain you today. Imagery also, a wide description is there that I'm going to explain you. And very quickly, we will revise all the literary devices which we have actually, which I explained you in the previous classes. So if you be ready, sit with your pen and paper because I would like you to write down, note down all the examples. And I would like you also to participate. Fine, children? I already explained you imagery, sensory language, but still, I will tell you that how it can be used. Now, you all know what is imagery, the use of language to create mental images and sensory impressions for emotional effect, intensity, understanding, interest, as well as appreciation. Because when something is being presented before you through words, what do? You started imagining things because God has given you very strong power of imagination and you started pen portraying things. So language that produces picture in the minds of people while reading or listening, that is imagery, and we are always using poetry imagery. Okay, now imagery using touch. Just imagine one example, once again, I will quote imagery using touch. After the long run, maybe Rohan, he collapsed in the grass with tired and burning muscles. That means he was extremely tired. And after a long run, he fell down. The grass tickled his skin and sweat started coming out of it. In this example, imagery is used to describe the feeling of what? First of all, strained muscles, and then grass tickling, and also his perspiration, his sweat, which was cooling its skin. Now, what will happen that when I explained you that after a long run, Rohan collapsed or what, you will start imagining because if it had ever happened with you, then you will just correlate the entire incident, Hannah, that how grass is tickling, how when you are sweating a lot, it is cooling you. So these are the things you actually started imagining in your mind. Brain is very powerful, my dear children. Okay, so it will start the imagination. See, here is a very interesting poem from by William Wordsworth. You all know, as I have already explained, great romantic poet who always romance with nature, and he has always, presented written poems based on nature and natural objects. See what he says here. He could hear his world crushing down when he heard the news about her. A host of golden daffodils beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. Now, maybe first two lines you will not imagine. Perhaps you are very small for all these things. You are quite young to imagine something very negative, something very grievous. Although nowadays during this pandemic, all the negative news are coming, but still you are children and we want you to stay away from this negative news, है ना? कोई किसी के डेथ का न्यूज हो, किसी का प्रॉब्लम हो, तो पेरेंट्स भी आपको प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं कि प्लीज डोंट लुक एट द, एंड आई विल सिंपली सजेस्ट यू डोंट लुक एट ऑल द नेगेटिव न्यूज विच इज ऑन अपीयरिंग ऑन टेलीविजन चैनल्स नाउ. बट ये चीज तो आप जरूर इमेजिन कर सकते हो. होस्ट ऑफ गोल्डन डेफोडिल्स, इट्स अ ब्यूटीफुल फ्लावर beside the lake, beneath the trees. That means ever you get a chance, ठीक है, तुम और कहीं गए ना गए हो, लेकिन एक तुम मान लो अपने गांव ही गए हो और तुमने देखा है कि फूल, फ्लावर्स फ्लटरिंग एंड डांसिंग इन द ब्रिज, है ना? वो मस्टर्ड का जो फ्लावर्स होते हैं, इट लुक्स सो नाइस, येलो कलर फ्लावर. देन यू विल व्हाट, you will correlate your imagination and you will start imagining things, है ना children? वो imagination शुरू हो जाता है. So what you do, you started imagination. तो देखो हमारा जो 5 sense organs है, they all started having senses. इसी में that's why imagery is very important. अब जैसे सबसे पहला होता है visual imagery, sight means if anything is described through words, you started visualizing thing, picture की तरह वो सामने आने लगता है. Okay, dreams के through भी आते हैं, because dreams is what, that somewhere in your subconscious mind, it is somewhere hiding, and when you are sleeping peacefully, it comes in the form of dream. Then we have listening imagery, that means auditory imagination. That means if someone will say, oh TikTok, जैसे मैंने बताया था onomatopoeia, that when a sound denoting word is actually telling you something, that TikTok, then what happens, you started imagining that how that TikTok will speak, मतलब how that will work. Then we have smell. Smell भी एक बहुत important है, that if someone is saying that oh it was a sweet fragrance spread in the air, बहुत प्यारी सी मीठी सी खुशबू थी, then you will start imagining things. Okay, mouth watering food is being prepared by your mother, कुछ मम्मी बना रही है which is your favorite maybe, and delicious food is being prepared, you started imagining the smell, oh how nice it smell. So that is also olfactory से कहते हैं, that is imagery. And then we have taste imagery, oh ho, taste buds, we are actually slave of our taste buds, है ना? अच्छा खाना क्यों चाहिए, even though we know the reality that it is not good for our physical health, but we all want to have a good tasty food. So taste buds. Now you will say how it will help you while listening a poem. You started imagining, if as I told you, that if something is being described, the food was very tasty, finger licking, है ना? अब जैसे KFC का ad तुम देखते हो, finger licking chicken, and if you are a chicken lover, then you will start imagining the taste also. आता है ना दिमाग में कि हाँ, yeah, I had this and how it is so tasty. So that is also a kind of imagination which you started imagining about that particular thing. And then we have touch therapy के बारे में भी सुना होगा आपने कि sometimes nowadays it is not allowed. Okay, social distancing is going on, my dear children. So we are not allowed to touch anyone because of coronavirus, deadly virus. Otherwise, touch has very strong effect. कभी कभी आपका when you are doing something good and teacher didn't say anything, कुछ नहीं बोला टीचर ने, but if the person is coming to you and simply patting your back, पीठ थपथपा दिया हल्का सा, so that you जो touch है ना, that will actually give you a lot of strength. That means माँ आई थोड़ा सा सर सहला दिया, that means only these gestures, these little. Now what happens when you are reading a particular piece of work, एक poem में पढ़ रहे हो, fiction में पढ़ रहे हो, drama में पढ़ रहे हो, and if the something is written that mother came and yeah maybe, and something related to touch imagery, that is being presented in the poem, you will start imagining that what you have felt while somebody touched you, cuddled you. Okay, so these are the imagination where your mind start working even though maybe you don't know about it. So imagery is very important while reading a poem. समझ रहे हो इस बात को? Am I clear? Enjambment, what does it mean? Nowadays you will see that this is a new literary device, because previously we were not explaining it to the students. Simile, metaphor, personification, oxymoron, hyperbole, they were the common refrain. But enjambment has been used frequently nowadays. Why? Because the poems, new poems, which has been prescribed in your standard 9th and 10th book, they have this new form of literary device. Now, what is this enjambment? क्या है ये enjambment? The running over a line or thought into the next line without a strong break or pause. What does it mean? That in poetry, it is enjambment is actually an incomplete sentence which continues in the second line without any punctuation mark. Got it? That means there is no, when generally, when you write a poem, you don't use frequent punctuation mark. Okay, rhyme से हम ज्यादा रिदम को ज्यादा फॉलो करते हैं, तो वहां पे इंजैम्पमेंट बोलते हैं. बिकॉज जैसे सी द एग्जाम्पल इज हियर दैट आई एम फीलिंग रैदर स्लीपी बट आई रियली डोंट नो व्हाई, आई गेस इट इज द वे द डे हैज spun out of control. Wind poem में भी you will also find enjambment, means without any punctuation mark, चाहे वो full stop हो, comma हो, or anything, colon, semicolon, anything, without punctuation mark, if one idea is moving, running to the another line also, next line also, that is enjambment. Okay, so it is very important for you to know enjambment because it is very easy, it is very frequent. The poems, especially when it is a translated version, क्योंकि ओरिजिनली इफ अ पोएम इज रिटन, द पोएट, मान लो कोई लैंग्वेज में है, तुम्हारा वेंट पोएम क्या है, इट इज ओरिजिनली रिटन इन तमिल. नाउ Tamil mein that person would have followed maybe the rhyming scheme and everything. But when that poem was translated into English, then generally what happens? The poet has to, the translator has to continue one idea from one line to next line. There sometimes they are not supposed to use any punctuation mark. So that is known as enjambment. Remember, so it basically you will say enjambment is the continuation of a sentence or clause across a line break. Okay, so what will happen? The opening sentence will continue to next sentence without any punctuation mark. Okay, so that you have to remember, and you will find it in many of your poems nowadays especially. Is it okay? So now enjambment is clear, that if one sentence is continued to next line, because वो poem को लिखने का तरीका अलग होता है ना, it's not like fiction. Okay, so that is known as enjambment. Got it? Clear? Because looking at punctuation often seems a good way to spot it. Yeah, this is the, full stop, this is comma. But if there is punctuation at the end of the line is stopped. You pause for a moment. But if there is no punctuation and the same line is carrying meaning and it is continued in the same line, because you carry on reading seamlessly over the line break, that is known as enjambment. Clear, my dear children? And you will find it in many of the poems. बहुत सारे poems में तुमको ये enjambment मिलेगा. Clear? Clear? No problem? Say yes or no. I'm not able to hear. Now come to this free verse. Okay, very good. Free verse. Now, as I told you that most of you feel that, acha, Khushi wants me to explain it again. Listen. Okay, I will explain to you once again. 1 minute. Let me. Okay. What is enjambment? Yes. What happened? Now we are moving to next after enjambment. Free verse. Now, many of you always say and you feel at this stage of your life, if I will ask you to write poems, is stage pe. So what will you do? You will simply follow rhythm, rhyme scheme. As Vishnu Kant, he has tried his level best to write some poems. And I'm very happy. At least he's trying. Very good. Well done, Vishnu Kant. He has sent me some poems also. But you know what is he doing? He is always trying to follow rhyme scheme. Rhythmic होना चाहिए. और उस rhythm को follow करने में कभी कभी होता है इसका message जो है, his message is not clear. Okay, and his message is not clear, and then what happens, that even the idea is twisted. Now see, that's why I'm explaining you, I'm actually telling you about this new And you, in fact, I have already talked. मैंने कहा भी है, wind poem is an example of free verse. Why, you know? Because क्यों ये free verse है? अब सुनो. Poetry that does not contain regular patterns of rhyme and rhythm, they are the lines flow more naturally and have everyday speech rhythm. Poets who write in free verse often use the sound devices we have discussed. So basically, if when the poet is not using the regular pattern of rhythm and rhyme, they are known as free verse. Basically, एक चीज और note करो, please note it down. Free verse is an open form of poetry, which in its modern form, and in this modern form is very popular among new generation. It does not use consistent meter patterns, rhyme, or maybe any musical pattern. And that is why you can say that it tends to follow the rhythm of natural speech. It follow the natural speech. Okay. So free verse poems have no regular rhythm pattern. Meter hota hai when you will, not now, but when you, if you are going to do MA in English, there you will learn about it. So they do not follow a proper rhyme scheme. These poems do not have any rules. This type of poem is based on normal pauses, natural, rhythmical phrases, or maybe you can say it is a little away from the natural pattern. So basically, what happens that when you are writing a poem and you have a strong message to convey, but you cannot find the rhythm, the rhythmical pattern, then you can also write your poems in this manner, but not now, my dear children. पहले आपको rhythm सीखना होगा. But if you have some strong message to convey, then you can use free words. See, the example is also, they all hiss as they glide, like inches down the marked tapes, those soft shapes shadowy inside the hard bodies. So you can see that glide, marked shapes inside their brains. There is no pattern, no proper pattern is basically followed. Now, one more thing I would like to tell you, children. जब free words की बात आ रही है तो एक चीज और सुनो. I will tell you about poetic license. Free verse तो बता दिया, wind poem is free verse. अब सुनो, that one more term I'm going to explain you. Poetic license. License कब मिलता है? Driving license, when you get a driving license, या किसी भी चीज को, you have to run a factory, you have to run a hospital, you have to run something. So there is a process that you have to ask for license. Government will provide you license. Take example of driving license. Okay, so why and when you get a driving license, कब मिलेगा? When you are skilled, when you are mature, when you know how to drive. Without driving, अब इंडिया में कुछ भी हो सकता है, that's different. But basically, when you get a driving license, there is a particular test, exam hota hai, very tough. In other countries, if you will go, people for taking driving license, they have to pass so many forms of examination. Huh? So basically, when do you get a license? When you are skilled, when you are actually perfect in that particular job. Now, एक term है poetic license. What is it? Actually, it describes the freedom of an artist or writer, because obviously to change the details, maybe change the spelling, change or distort facts, or ignore the usual rules, especially if the art they produce is better than its result. If you remember the Rain on the Roof poem, उसमें उसने listen का spelling में list use किया है. Okay, woof old English he has used. Now why it is? So you cannot take, अब Vishnu will has started writing poem, तो Vishnu कहेगा कि मैम spelling mistake में भी कहेगा, oh I have used poetic license. No beta, first of all you have to gain a name and fame, people will recognize you, you have written a lot, then only you will get a freedom, you will get a license. Okay, and you can change the rule, you can distort the facts, you can even ignore the rules of literature, of grammar. Okay, so it is basically इसे हम लोग इसलिए बोलते हैं because some of the poems when you will read, when you will go through, you will see that spelling is different. Maybe in order to have a free flow of rhyme or the poem, you will see that sometimes the writer, the poet has twisted the words. So there the term poetic license we can use. It is also known as artistic license, literary license. Okay, और बहुत तरह के लाइसेंस होते हैं, लिटरेरी लाइसेंस, ड्रामेटिक लाइसेंस, हिस्टोरिकल लाइसेंस, you know, poet. So why? Because it is used by those people who have a obviously who had a name and fame, who has written a lot, and then they can use it while penning down their emotion. Not you, not the beginners. Okay, so basically what happens whenever people is using poetic license, there is a lot of controversy. For book lovers, they have their controversy. Grammar lovers, they will always raise their finger. In fact, other people will also, but doesn't matter. If you have that, first of all, you have to be very mature. People will know you, people will run you. Otherwise, what will happen? They will be surprised, they will start confronting you, and then people will not follow your words. So, not now, but if you see that a great writer or a great poet has done something wrong, then don't worry, he has used the poetic license. But free verse is different. Free verse is that you are not following the regular pattern, you are not following the rhyme and rhythm, but still the poetry which you are preparing, which you are actually writing, it is full of melody, it is full of meaning. ठीक है, समझ आ गया है? अब ये सब आपके लिए नहीं है. Okay, now couplet you all know, the pair of lines that rhythm, that rhyme. A couplet may be a poem or a part of a larger poem. Couplet, I think in standard 8 you have read a lot of couplet. So you know about this? Any problem anywhere? Any problem? You remember alliteration? No problem at all. Already I have explained it to you. That alliteration is the repetition of a consonant sound. Basically, मैंने यहाँ consonant और vowel use नहीं किया, but repetition is the alliteration is the repetition of sound at the start of two or more consecutive words. No, two or more that we have already discussed, like Coca-Cola, Tiny Tim, Mickey Mouse. No problem here. Assonance, consonants, onomatopoeia. You will always be able to remember this. Sound denoting words. That is the sound denoting words. So you know about it. No problem in this. I don't think. Is there any problem? No. एक चीज और बताना था मुझे. Okay, but I think we are running a little late. कुछ बातें और हैं which I would like to tell you. If you are taking interest, then see, one more thing is there. Allusion. Allusion क्या है? थोड़ा सा ये सोच लो. Although it is not very much used, but you should know about it. An allusion is a reference to a person, place, event, or literary work that a writer expects the reader to recognize and understand. Basically, whenever we are using historical evidences or maybe some geographical explanation or maybe some reference which we are taking related to art, music, religion, literature, there you can have this idea. So basically एक चीज याद रखो, ऐसे लिख सकते हो, you can write it down that a reference or suggestion to a historical or maybe geographical, literary, art, music, religion, places, person or thing, that is known as allusion. Now you know, I think you all are music lover. You have heard about love song. Taylor Swift का पढ़ा है, सुना है वो song, love song. Now I think most of you have heard a new generation you are. अच्छा, नहीं सुना है तो सुन लेना. टेलर स्विफ्ट का नाम तो पता ही होगा, फेमस सिंगर. इफ यू विल सी लव सॉन्ग, उसका वो म्यूजिक वीडियो देखना, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, आई हैव सीन. Then what will happen? You will find out that love song is actually an excerpt. ये कहाँ से है? Okay, that it is from Romeo and Juliet. शेक्सपियर का जो play है Romeo and Juliet, there the balcony scene, वो balcony scene है, उससे that reference has been taken. That reference has been taken, and then what happens when you read that poem, when you read that song, you will started imagining things that yeah it happened. वो imagination शुरू हो जाएगा, because that you will imagine when you will go through. So allusion there you will start, that from where it has been, this reference has been taken from that particular historical episode, or maybe it is related to that geographical area, or maybe that literary piece or related to, and then you will start having that reference the person will use while explaining that particular poem to you. जैसे मैं भी तुम्हें बहुत सारे पोएम्स के पहले बताऊंगी कि दिस पोएम हैज बीन टेकन, जैसे विलियम वर्थ का जब भी पोएम्स आता है तो maybe there I will explain you that this reference, this particular poem has been written because of this reason. वो reference जब हम explain करेंगे, that is known as allusion. Okay, so this is the job of teacher to explain you